What's your thoughts on how people's negative views on you affect the way Ada is seen? Don't agree with it at all. Do you feel like it's worth saying your opinion less so people don't get upset? No, I'm never going to censor myself. And, here's the thing. No matter what you do, you can't keep people happy. The cold plunge is a great example of that. So I go and they say, oh, you got to go in with your shoulders. So I go in with the shoulders and they say, oh, you're not dunking your head. And then they say, oh, well, it's not actually cold water. It's fake cold water. So you show them the thermometer. Oh, it's a fake thermometer reading. And then they say, well, you're not going to the gym. I work out every day, guys. Okay. I don't exactly have the body like it, but I'm not killing it for 4 hours at the gym, and gradually improving, increasing. I have a long road to go, but I do work out. I put time in. There's a lot of discipline that goes into it. Can't keep people happy because they move the goalposts. And people have a negative view about me. They read a book that Laura wrote or someone else wrote about stuff that happened 10 years ago, where people who are now our competitors have decided to say something on or off the record, worked its way into a book. Is that book fair? Is that counting of history fair? Is it taking the totality of all things accomplished? No. So why does it matter? But the problem is, if that's your only input, that must mean it's true today, right? I have to be an evil, despicable person. But then we have to take a step back and say, why should that influence at all the growth and success of Cardano if it's truly a decentralized ecosystem? Shouldn't it be the case that you can love Cardano and hate Charles? Shouldn't that be what we strive for? And isn't that a good indication of the success or lack thereof of the governance of Cardano? So to me, the more important thing, instead of self-regulation and saying, oh God, how do I be a likable guy to everybody? Because I'm never going to win that fight. I'm sorry. I'm a thoroughly unlikable guy for some people, and that's okay. It's how do we get a government where people feel comfortable to participate despite the fact that I'm not a likable guy? And I think we've made enormous progress in that dimension. And we really have moved mountains as an ecosystem and community. And there's plenty of people floating around who really have a strong difference of opinion. America has many amazing things about it, but one of the worst parts of America is this celebrity culture of build up and bring down, build up and bring down. We're addicted to the cycle. We love finding somebody, making them great, and then destroying them. We love looking at people and making them very going multidimensional to single dimensional. We love compressing people down to a statement, an incident, a characteristic, something about them. There's so much nuance in humanity and brilliance in humanity. Kanye West is not exactly my favorite person in the world. And he just does some batshit crazy stuff and says some batshit crazy stuff that's deeply offensive and hurtful to a lot of people. On the other hand, every now and then, there's an element of brilliance that's impossible to deny. No business professional in the world would think it's a good idea to spend $7 million to create a Super Bowl commercial and then record it freestyling for 30 seconds on your phone. But not only did it work, he made $19 million off of that. That's just Kanye. There's these moments of brilliance, and you look at them and you say, look at that. That's pretty cool. And part of growing up in life and becoming a mature adult is to find something special and interesting and fun with people you disagree with, and people that you have a strong distaste for, or people that you don't see eye to eye with, or else you live in an echo chamber. All the time, there's things that I see people throughout our industry doing that I admire deeply, and I point it out when I see it. I'm also a harsh critic at times as well. All the time, I see things that I'm from people I'm friends with, and I criticize them because I think that's not the way to go. Or maybe I'm the other side of it. I say that's really a good idea. At any given moment, there's an opportunity to learn something. There's an opportunity to critique something. There's an opportunity to grow. That's the mindset we should have. And also, you have to use common sense in criticism. If I'm the person that some of these people in the Ethereum community think I am, there is no reality I would not be in prison. We've already run this experiment. Look at Sam Bankman-Fried. Look at all these other people. They chose the easy route. They chose the dishonest route. They ran that for several years. I've been here for more than a decade. I've worked with thousands of people, built this giant ecosystem, traveled to 70 plus countries, built and built and built and built and built. Why is it I'm not in prison? Why is it there's not massive lawsuits and all these other things and all these people pulling me down? How is it we're able to just deliver? Do we always deliver on time? No, but we get there. We write the papers, we do the work, we write the code, or the deadlines sometimes move. Yeah, sure. It's called software. Read the history of Windows Vista. Read the history of the Boeing 787. Yeah, there's delays. But at the end of the day, there's no major scandal, no major. So yet somehow I'm this evil, ultra Machiavellian, super manipulative person who's never accomplished or done anything, has no technical skills, and all he does is just sit down all day and lie to people. But yet we're able to build all this. And yet somehow able to build all this without major scandal or prison. It doesn't make any sense at all. It's just fantasy. It's just absolute abject fantasy. But it's a fantasy that some people want to believe because they don't want to connect the dots and actually admit that there's something there. And it's gotten so absurd. In certain circles, you're not even allowed to mention Cardano or me. And if we do anything, you can't say it. You have to find another ecosystem that did it and then take it from there because it's a, it is what it is. Go to Cryptocurrency Reddit is a great example of that. It doesn't really impact me. I mean, I'm still building, guys. I'm still here. I'm Johnny fucking Live a Lot. We've never been stronger as an ecosystem. I've never been personally stronger in terms of my business empire. Think about it. 18 months ago, we had an idea on a whiteboard. Now we've genetically engineered plants. They glow in the dark. And in a few years' time, they'll be geoengineering the planet. I have the plant. It exists. It's in the lab. And we'll make a big announcement about it at some point. We're starting anti-aging trials. Vitalik likes to talk about anti-aging, give some money to some anti-aging people. We actually have the clinic. I spent $70 million building that facility. We have all these amazing people that we've pulled together. And we're able to do clinical trials. And we have all these great partnerships for these clinical trials. So the same academic rigor that we used with all the computer science research, we get to use now with medicine research. Get FDA approval. Okay. It's not hypothetical. There's over 6,000 plus patients, 6,200 patients last time I checked at my facility up in Gillette, Wyoming. If I'm so incompetent, so incapable, and so unable to do anything, how does that exist? Where does it fucking come from? Just woke up one day? I'll tell you where we bought it. The land we bought had the old Skyline Grill at it. It was an out of business restaurant, 4,000 square feet. People made burgers. We found hidden stripper cages in the back of it. That's where we started. Now there's a 10,000 square foot clinic, which is going to double or triple in size in the next year with 6,000 plus people going to it. It's the top clinic in all of Campbell County for primary care, along with a big research arm that's adding lifestyle medicine in. I built that as a side adventure while doing all this other stuff. Is that reflected at all in any of it? No, doesn't exist. Doesn't exist. People aren't going to be fair. We're, as human beings, pathologically incapable of being fair or deviating or recognizing our cognitive biases. Just who we are. That's okay. You know what? Forgive and forget. It's okay. Just accept the reality of human nature. And that's why blockchain technology exists, because we need rules. We need regulations. We need moderation. We need structures that hold us accountable. If you hold money, you need an auditor. If you do something, you need somebody on the other side of it to keep you honest, no matter who you are or how virtuous you are, because at some point you run into a blind spot and you are unable to admit something that is true. Good systems have checks and balances. Good systems have oversight. And if anybody tells you otherwise, they're either trying to steal something from you or they're naive. That's the wisdom I've learned in life. And so that's why I love peer review, because no matter how brilliant we think we are, There's a crucible of truth where external parties actually tell you if you are or you aren't. That's why I like distributed systems and open source systems, because no matter how good your idea is, it has to be mixed up and discussed in a larger community. That's why I like the public accountability of coming here and doing AMAs with you guys, because you can take a look at prior statements on Hoskinson. And you can see what I was saying a year ago, 2 years ago, 3 years ago. And yes, absolutely, every now and then, some of the things that I wanted to happen didn't happen. Some initiatives we started didn't work out the way we hoped. But the totality of things, the thread of things is when we said we were going to do it, we did it. And I remind you that we did it. Shelley came. Gauguin came. Basho's in flight. Voltaire's here. We're doing it right now. We said we were going to do it. We put the pictures down, and that happened as an ecosystem and a community. And are we giving up? Are we walking away? No, we left behind a sovereign wealth fund with $900 million of value inside of it for the community to be in control of and spend how they see fit. Proud of that. That is the legacy. That is the track record. That is the indisputable truth. And, if trying to deviate from that truth means that I have to not share my opinion more or not wear my heart on my sleeve, then I'm not being genuine to people. I'm not being honest with people, not being transparent with people. I am who I am. I show up here every day. I'm fat. I acknowledge that. Got to lose some weight. So that's what I'm doing. I'm not complaining about it, not making it your problem. You certainly do remind me over Twitter. It takes a lot of courage to be a fat person and take your shirt off and jump into a cold plunge, because you know that you're going to be harshly criticized for that. And people are going to say just terrible things for it. But you do it anyway, because it inspires and encourages other people who may be in the same situation to say, hey, maybe it's okay. Maybe I can do something too. It takes a lot of courage to jump into a cold pool of water on a ranch and stay in there for 3 minutes. It's not easy, but on the other side of it, you feel better and you get some character out of it. And greatness comes as a result of those little decisions that you make every single day. Every small choice. Do you eat the donut or not? Do you jump in the cold plunge or not? Do you take the cold shower or not? Do you work out today or not? Do you read that thing that you were supposed to read, or do you procrastinate? Do you fill your time with learning and growing and taking care of your commitments, or do you fill your time with distractions and procrastination? Every one of those small decisions over a lifetime translates to a life well lived or a life not. And I share that journey with you guys, for better or for worse. And it's all out there, years and years and years and years of it. And I'm better for it because it holds me accountable and makes me a better person. And I have to accept the fact that it's not about whether I get public credit for the wins or losses, because it's not going to be fair. It's hard to be a 33-year-old billionaire. I'm 33 years old when I made it rich, became a billionaire. I get no credit for that. All these other people, they get to be on Forbes, the front page, on the list. They get all the accolades. Look how brilliant they are. Look how capable they are. Oh, you didn't earn your money. You're a scammer. You're an evil person. You're a con man. Look at all this stuff. You don't even get to be rich anymore and enjoy the fruits of those labors. You don't even get to enjoy anything. Society just won't give it to you. So you don't do it for those reasons. You do it because it was something you wanted. There was a challenge to overcome. And then you do it because once you've achieved all of that, you can leverage that to go and do some more interesting things. Because I made the money, I was able to actually go and invest in anti-aging and medicine, which has always been a passion of mine. Because I made the money, I got to invest in synthetic biology. Because I made the money, I get to do agricultural work. Because I made the money, I get to do political work. I get to do charity work. I get to donate and create the Hoskinson Center and actually do formal mathematics, things that I cared about, but I had no ability to influence. And because of that, that's there. And that's why I'm here. And that's why I share these types of things. And I share with you for the public accountability side. You're the best people in the world at keeping me honest. And it all works out in the end. We're all just people, no matter how great or how small, and we're all living in the same world, and we're just trying to figure it out. stop being so hard on each other.